back, at least 700 people have been displaced and roughly 200 dwellings destroyed at an informal settlement in Clairwood, Lucia in KwaZulu-Natal. A fire swept through the informal settlement earlier today. And for more on this, we're now joined by Siyabonga Hlatshwayo, who is the Provincial Manager of the International Red Cross in KwaZulu-Natal. Siyabonga, thank you so much for joining us this evening here on SABC News. Perhaps let's start off here. If maybe you can describe the situation on the ground and, just what led to the fire.
Good evening to you and the listeners at home. At the moment, the cause of the fire has not been identified, but we can tell that the situation is quite worrying. It's always worrying when we see such situations where you have more than 700 people that are currently displaced, being homeless now. As it is, tents are being erected for them where they are going to be sleeping. And you are always looking at maybe how long it is going to be until they get to be settled back into their houses again. But it's quite worrying because you have children that are currently on the road. We just came back from trying to offer some assistance this evening.
And do you know when this fire actually started?
We received the reports just after lunch today. That is when we were alerted that there's been this kind of incidents. Fortunately, we are seeing that disaster management teams were already activated. Firefighters went out to try and control the fire. Fortunately, there were no reported fatalities as well as no injuries at the moment.
And when it comes to those who have been affected, I mean, 700 people living in that, informal settlement area, what are the immediate assistance that they are being given at the moment?
Currently, it's temporary shelter of which it's being organized. The marquees are being erected. They are going to be staying there. And we have also made available our own marquee, of which is going to assist in terms of separating males and females as being sensitive to issues of gender-based violence. And also the blankets, mattresses, food, as well as clothing, as most people lost everything that they had during the fire incident. So those are the imminent needs, and also in a way supports that can assist them in terms of them now being able to recover and also being able to procure what they would see as their imminent needs, because we can identify and maybe avail relief items to them, but also they do have their own personal imminent needs, of which I think that is why usually as the Red Cross Society we usually avail cash and voucher assistance, which will always assist them in terms of being able to identify and procure what they feel is their need.
And perhaps if, there are members of the public who would like to come and help and assist with those who have been affected, what advice do you have for them? How can they go out of their way, to ensure that these, people who live in this area do receive the necessary help?
Disaster management teams are already on the ground, so disaster management could be the right channel to ensure that support gets to the people. The Red Cross Society also is going to be there as from today up until people have been maybe went back into their houses. We are going to be supporting them, so we can also be able to receive support and channel it to the beneficiaries. And also, I think any kind of support, especially with building material, that could come in very handy. And I think that is something that they need, as I'm sure they would want to go back to their houses as soon as possible.